Manchester was shaken by a terrible terrorist attack at a synagogue during Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar. It was supposed to be a day of serious thought, but it was ruined by violence, leaving the community shocked and sad. This attack brought up urgent talks again about anti-Jewish hate and the safety of minority groups, forcing the city and country to face the danger of hate-filled extremism. But, even with the sadness, Manchester's strength and unity are already starting to show. The attack happened without warning, shattering the peace of what should have been a calm night. Siren sounds broke the silence, marking the start of a night that would be remembered as one of the darkest in this community's history. People who had just finished praying never imagined they would witness such a terrible tragedy. As the congregation prayed devoutly, marking the end of Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, the atmosphere of hope and reflection suddenly turned to fear. Many families were gathered, praying for each other, unaware of the danger lurking outside the synagogue walls. Suddenly, a car sped up and crashed into the security barrier in front of the synagogue, destroying the sense of safety that had been maintained. The police on guard were immediately on high alert, but the situation quickly spiraled out of control. From inside the car, an attacker emerged with a large knife, immediately targeting anyone outside. People who had just left the service ran, trying to escape the very real threat before their eyes. Panic broke out. The attacker wore a vest that looked like it contained explosives, making everyone think there was a bomb threat. Screams and cries filled the air, while police tried to calm the increasingly chaotic situation. In a matter of minutes, 2 community members lost their lives. Deep sorrow enveloped the victims' families, while friends and relatives could only cry helplessly amidst the chaos. Several others were injured, both physically and emotionally, in a desperate attempt to flee the scene. Medics and volunteers quickly provided aid, helping the injured and comforting those who were traumatized. The brutality of this planned attack left a trail of blood and fear, sending a chilling message to the entire community. A day that should have been sacred turned into a horrific scene that will be hard to forget. This violence didn't just target individuals, it also tried to plant deep fear in the hearts of the entire community, reaching far beyond the synagogue walls. That day, safety and peace were stolen, leaving wounds that will be hard to heal. The police quickly figured out the attacker was Jihad Al-Shamie. His name hadn't shown up in any police records or watch lists before. Within minutes of the attack, officers on the scene gathered information from witnesses and security cameras, confirming who he was with great accuracy. Jihad Al-Shamie, who was 35, was a complete unknown to the authorities. He had no criminal past, no reports of suspicious activities, and no signs that he had ever been involved with radical groups. This made the police and the public wonder how someone who seemed so ordinary could become a deadly attacker. Al-Shamie's name wasn't on any national or international terror watch lists. He had never been investigated before either. This raised new worries about how people can become radicalized in secret, without being caught by current security systems. Experts are now saying we need new ways to find sudden threats from unexpected individuals. Only 7 minutes after the first call, special armed police units arrived at the scene. They moved fast, sizing up the tense situation, and immediately tried to corner Al-Shamie, who was still attacking people. Their speed and teamwork were key to stopping more people from getting hurt. When the officers faced him, Al-Shamie refused to give up. He stayed aggressive and threatening, forcing the police to take strong action. In a quick but intense fight, Al-Shamie was shot and died on the spot, ending the danger he posed to the community. After the situation was under control, police found out that the vest Al-Shamie was wearing was actually fake. But it looked so much like a real explosive vest, with wires and fake parts, that it caused huge panic at the scene. Many people thought there was a real bomb threat, which made the evacuation and handling of the situation even harder. The police's quick and professional response likely stopped an even bigger tragedy. But this event also led to a new look at security rules in public places, especially around places of worship and other public buildings. Authorities are now increasing surveillance and improving training to deal with similar threats in the future. Investigators are now working hard to figure out why Al-Shamie did what he did. They are looking through digital trails, communications, and possible links to extremist groups, both inside and outside the country. Every clue is super important to stop similar attacks and keep the public safe going forward. The attack took 2 precious lives: a devoted grandfather, known to everyone as a pillar of strength and wisdom in his family. He was a man who was always there to offer advice and support, and his passing leaves a huge, unfillable hole. This loss is deeply felt by everyone who knew him, especially by his family who loved him very much. And a young woman who taught at the synagogue's community center. She was a passionate educator, always striving to give her best to her students. She didn't just teach, she inspired and guided young people with so much love and dedication. This loss is deeply felt throughout the community, as she was a highly respected and beloved figure. Their loss is deeply felt, not just by their families, but also by friends, neighbors, and everyone who ever interacted with them. They were individuals who left a deep mark on many lives. The entire congregation and city are in deep sorrow. They gathered to remember and honor these 2 lost lives, showing how big an impact they left behind. Prayer services were held to honor their memory, with the hope that the prayers and community support could bring some comfort to those grieving. The community came together to support those who were hurt, both physically and emotionally. They lifted each other up and provided much-needed support during these tough times. The trauma of violence in a sacred place will stay, leaving a deep scar on the hearts of everyone involved. But the community is determined not to let this violence break their spirit. The stories of the victims' kindness and faith brought the community together in grief and remembrance. They shared stories and memories, reminding everyone of the good and love the victims had given. Their deaths are a clear reminder of the real human cost of hate. This is a call for all of us to work harder to create a more peaceful and loving world. Police are urgently looking into whether Al-Shamie acted alone or as part of a bigger group of extremists. Raids all over Manchester have led to the arrest of 3 suspects, who are now being questioned about their possible involvement. Forensic and digital evidence is being looked at to find any links, talks, or plans behind the attack. The chance of a larger group has made people worried and caused security to be even tighter. Choosing to attack on Yom Kippur was a deliberate act of anti-Semitic hatred, targeting the Jewish community at its most vulnerable. Yom Kippur is a day of communal fasting, prayer, and reflection, the very heart of Jewish spiritual life. By attacking on this holy day, the assailant sought to inflict maximum psychological and spiritual pain. The desecration of a holy day has echoed far beyond Manchester, casting a shadow over Jewish communities worldwide. However, the attack has also rallied global solidarity and a renewed determination to confront antisemitism. Political leaders from all parties have spoken out against the attack, and they've promised to stand strong with the Jewish community. The Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition visited the site, calling for everyone to come together and for strong action against the rise of antisemitism. Their statements show that everyone in the country agrees. Hate has no place in the UK, and their words need to be followed by actions. Community and religious leaders have also come together, making it clear that this attack won't divide the nation. This sad event has made everyone more determined to protect all communities and to keep our values of kindness and respect strong. Hate crimes like this are meant to scare whole communities, not just the people who are hurt. They send a message of being left out and being afraid, which breaks down the trust and togetherness that holds society together. The attack in Manchester was a direct attack on the right to worship freely and live without fear. Such crimes threaten the very ideas of democracy and having many different kinds of people. The answer needs to be more than just saying it's wrong. It needs support for the victims, catching and punishing those who did it, and a promise to teach and talk to each other. How a society deals with hate can either make its foundations weaker or stronger. After that event, Manchester's spirit of togetherness and strength was clear for all to see. People from all walks of life came together at prayer events, standing strong with the Jewish community. Community leaders called for peace and understanding, opening their doors to neighbours of all faiths. This support between different faiths was a powerful way to say no to hate and extreme ideas. This sad event inspired new efforts to fight unfair judgments and build a community where everyone feels welcome. Manchester's reaction showed that even in the darkest times, hope and coming together can win.